Welcome back, everybody. Today we're here to talk about The Walking Dead World Beyond Episode 3, titled The Tiger and the Lamb. This is going to be my review of the episode, so if you have not seen it, spoiler warning, as we will discuss some of the things that happened in this episode. But other than that, if you have seen it, let me know in the comments down below what did you think about it. And for those who haven't seen it, again, it's going to contain spoilers, so once you do check it out, be sure to come back to this video. But with that being said, let's get into it. All right, so this episode was definitely a stronger episode, I thought, in terms of the series so far. I know it's only been 3 episodes, but I'm sort of mixed right now with The World Beyond. There's some stuff that I do like, and then there's some stuff that not so much. But this one again was definitely on the stronger side. I like how we are learning about the characters in their pasts and stuff like that. Like last episode was Felix, and this episode is Silas. I do like that. For Silas, I liked how there was. I like the flashbacks in general. I think the flashbacks are really cool, and how we get to see. Because right now what they are doing is not that exciting, to say the least. They're just walking to New York, but. So that's why I do appreciate the flashbacks. I think it's cool seeing other parts of the world, or like, the campus and stuff like that. But Silas, yeah, I liked how we learned about his past. He was definitely a quieter character who wasn't talking that much, so I did appreciate this episode to learn more about him. Also, I liked that one scene. I wrote this down, so I specifically wanted to talk about that. I liked when he imagined that walker as someone in the fog, and I liked the music to it. I just like how that scene was made. I wrote that down because that scene kind of stood out to me. The music kind of stood out at me, and I think the Newton brothers are the ones, that's what it says. It says music by the Newton brothers. So they're with The Walking Dead, it's usually Bear McCreary, but the Newton brothers are actually pretty good because they make a lot of the music for Mike Flanagan movies. Like Doctor Sleep and stuff like that. So that is pretty cool how they're making the music for The Walking Dead. But the soundtrack and the score for this show is pretty good. So I do hope we learn more about the other characters as well. I'm saying that because I don't know if this is going to be the structure for the entire show. If it's going to be like learning about one character in one episode, another character in the next episode, and stuff like that. I don't know if they're gonna do that. But I do hope what I'm saying. I hope we learn more about some of the other characters. I like the look of the show, that's for sure. I wrote that down. I love the production design. I think it's great. The walkers look awesome, especially that walker in today's episode, which the walker hand was coming up from the ground. That was really good. So I like the look of the show. The action scenes were really well directed when they're fighting the walkers. So again, the production is great. I like this world. I just have a difficult time sort of getting invested into these characters, and I'm not sure why. And I'm sure that will change. Hopefully it does throughout the episodes, but because it's only episode 3. But I do like this world, I'll say that. I do like some of the character stuff, that's for sure. I'm glad they focused on Elton this episode, because I talked about this earlier, that the but there still are some really great character stuff in these episodes, that's for sure. Like for this episode example, I really did like the Iris and Hope stuff, especially that ending when Hope was telling Iris what really happened. So there are some good stuff, but again, I don't know if this is going to be the structure throughout the whole season, if there's just like a backstory for each character or what it is. But we'll see. I think it's too early to judge it, in terms of character, because we still have a long ways to go. But I want to talk a little bit about that ending with the CRM, because that might have been the highlight of the episode for me. So we caught up with Elizabeth, and we learned what was going on with that other guy, because we saw him in episode 1, and he did look like he was like, a little bit upset with everything going on. He didn't look that comfortable, and we learned in this episode that he wasn't. And first thing I want to say is that we learned a lot about the CRM in just like this little scene. That's why I really did love that scene. We learned the way they live, which was like, again, like insane compared to everyone else in the zombie apocalypse, like at least like the 2 other shows. They have TV and refrigerators and like, I don't know, coffee makers and all these other stuff, microwaves. They're living like a normal life, which was insane. I don't know if everybody's doing that, because she said there's 200,000 people which is another thing we learned. That is insane. That's way bigger than the Commonwealth. Well, according to the comics, that is, which is like the biggest group that we've had so far on the Walking Dead comics. Now, the CRM doesn't exist in the comics, but the point I'm trying to make is like we've never seen anything like this before. So 200,000 people, and we saw like a little, civilization they had with all the buildings and stuff. So I don't know if everybody's living that kind of life that Elizabeth is. I would assume no, because she is like a leader. So maybe it's like a Negan situation where Negan has like, like Negan had like the best stuff, right? Like they got stuff for Negan, some stuff were specifically for Negan. So we'll see if it's the same thing with her. But I also did like how we saw some emotion in her. We saw her crying at the end, so I'm assuming that's because of what the guy was telling her, and she kind of realized that what they did was really messed up. So I think that's why she was crying. I could be wrong. We don't know for sure, but we'll see. I don't know because that was super abrupt, that community they lived in, and then at the end of the episode, like, they just killed everybody. That was, like, insane. So I don't know, like, I don't think they probably haven't done that before. Because I don't know, it's hard to tell for sure, but just based on their reactions, I feel like this isn't something they always do, and they have 200,000 people living there. So I don't really know the motivation behind that. Hopefully we do find out soon, but I did like that ending with the Commonwealth, and hopefully we get to see more of them. I'm sure we will. And another thing was like when she said that we're the last light of the world or something like that. So I'm interested to see if they have been overseas and checked out the rest of the world. If she really truly means that, like they're the biggest community remaining in the entire world. So the CRM definitely a really, really interesting group. I can't wait to learn more about them because there's just so many questions I have about them. So you guys let me know what you think about the CRM. But going back to the main group, so hopefully things do pick up with them. I will say that. But other than that, again, I'm interested in learning more about the characters. I do like the dynamics between the characters. I will also say that. I think they're funny at times. They just talk like regular friends. And I think, that's something that we don't really see that much on The Walking Dead. So that is one thing that I do like about the characters. But in terms of their story, I just hope that things start getting more interesting rather than just walking and walking. That's what I'll say. But I'm going to leave it up there. Let me know in the comments down below, what did you think about this episode? And what do you think about the show so far? So I'm going to wrap it up there. My Fear the Walking Dead Season 6 Episode 2 review is up on the channel if you're interested in checking that one out. And then if you're a fan of the show, The Walking Dead, be sure to hit the subscribe button as we have a lot of content coming up. Again, I'm going to wrap it up there. So let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And as always, thanks for watching, everybody. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon.